I'm AJ Freed, and I'm thankful for the veterans who fought for our country.
And I'm Michelle Spiller, and I didn't have a chance to vote this election day because I'm underage.
I'm Jake Wickelman, and I'm with someone who also didn't vote, but he knows all about the votes and around campus.
Hi, I'm Sean McQuon, and I've got This Week in Mepham Sports.
I'm Ava Scheffler with your weekend forecast, and look at my new graphic.
These are the BMB morning announcements for Friday, November 6th.
Good morning, Mepham. Today is day 5. Please rise and join us for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Michelle, in breaking news here in Bellmore-Merrick, on Wednesday night, Superintendent John D. Tomasso announced his retirement at the Board of Education meeting. Mr. D. Tomasso has been our superintendent since 2013 and has overseen the launch of many new programs here in Bellmore-Merrick, including BMB. We'll have more on Mr. D. Tomasso's tenure here in Bellmore-Merrick in the weeks ahead.
In a related story, the Board of Education wasted no time in finding Mr. D. Tomasso's successor, announcing Assistant Superintendent and former Mepham Principal Michael Harrington as our next superintendent, effective July 1st. Again, B&B will have more on the developing story in weeks ahead.
Big news indeed. Turning back to the national news, while the election day is now over, it's important to remember that voting in any election, even non-major ones, is extremely important. Voting allows your voice to be heard, and especially in low turnout elections, the power in your vote is amplified. Voting also lets your elected officials know what you would like to see in more of in your district, like more liberal or conservative policies. In some cases, you can even vote for laws to be put in place as well. For example, on Election Day in California, a law was passed by the citizens to make Uber drivers independent contractors in the eyes of the law. So remember that your vote has power to affect the lives of so many people in so many different ways.
That's right, AJ. And while the majority of us here at Mepham can't vote yet, that doesn't mean that this election hasn't been on our minds for the last few days, as the election reports sweep social media and conversations in the classrooms. To help make sense of these results as they come in, Jake Wickelman sat down with a special guest in this week's Around Campus, our very own Charles Lashinsky of Decisions Definitions. Take it away, Jake.
Hi, I'm Jake Winkleman, and welcome to Around Campus. Today, I sit down with Charles Lashinsky, who is a political expert here and has his own show about it. We will also be breaking down some of the things that went down here in election week. So tell me about your show, Charles.
Well, Decision Definitions is about explaining the terms of the election. There's so much information out there everywhere, and a lot of terms that many people don't know. So it's good for people to know, especially when they're going to be making choices about who they want to vote for soon.
And there has been lots of debate about high schoolers' involvement in politics itself. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, everyone should be a part of democracy and the government. High schoolers are really close to voting, or they might be now. So it's very important for everyone to be active, everyone to know about their government. And, when it's time to vote, you know what terms are, policy, different government positions. So it's important, and I'm glad that more people are participating in politics than ever before.
So can you just do a quick explanation of the Electoral College for those who are still confused?
Well, it is complicated, but it can be simplified. The Electoral College is, so in a state, when you vote, in the majority vote, that's who your state's going to vote for. And depending on how many Congress people you have, based on the census, that's how many electoral votes your state sends to the national election. So you might hear about swing states and stuff. That's the states that are split politically, that are very important because you need 270 electoral votes to be president. The popular vote doesn't matter. So it's basically you need the most votes in a state to win all of their electoral votes. There are some exceptions too, but it's just you have to win by one vote, and then you win a whole state and their electoral votes, which then you move on, and hopefully you get 270 if you're a presidential candidate.
Thank you so much, Charles, for coming to the Around Campus studio. I definitely learned a lot. I hope you guys did too. Now back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Jake, and thanks, Charles. Charles has been keeping us informed all year, all things election, in our hit segment and our sister show, Midweek Update, with Riley Freed, Haley Hepworth, Connor Ward, and of course, Charles. If you haven't seen it yet, check out when the next episode drops on Wednesday.
Speaking of Wednesday, this next Wednesday, the 11th, we will be off from school to honor the men and women that have lost their lives at war, fighting for the freedom of our country. Take this day to thank and remember our fallen heroes.
Little known fact, AJ, Veterans Day always falls on November 11th because it's marked the end of the fighting of World War I. That's also where the expression the 11th hour comes from.
I can just feel our ratings growing every time you share your knowledge, Michelle. AP tests are coming up, and they are coming up soon. All AP exam payments are due Sunday, November 8th. An invoice was sent to your email regarding payment requirements and instructions. You can pay online through the College Board website or send in a check to the address they have listed. Good luck on all upcoming exams.
AP's coming up and SAT's tomorrow, AJ, so if you signed up, make sure you show up. Now for a quick commercial break.
Do you want to be in Hannah in the hallway?
Hannah, I'll be on camera.
No, Haley, you're on camera way too much. We need non-BMB people who are interested. You can participate if you're a student or a teacher. There will be a link to a Google form in the description of the video to sign up, and these flyers will be around the school so you can scan them and sign up.
That's great. I want to be on Hannah in the Hallway. Now, remember if you're interested to fill out the Google form so you can be featured on Hannah in the Hallway. Hannah's always looking for people who are interested.
You know, maybe one day Hannah will let me on her segment. I know she won't, but it's okay. Now let's kick it over to Sean McQuillan for your weekend sports report.
This week in sports was pretty quiet, but not at Mepham. BMB's Tom Morrow and Lily Yepes are profiling 1991 Mepham graduate and former NFL cornerback Donnie Brady on the next Sports Talk to come later next week. It's Week 8 in the NFL season, and BMB has all of your fantasy needs covered on Week 8 of the Primetime Fantasy Report, featuring yours truly among the rest of the BMB Sports crew. Speaking of football, the 2020 Mepham football schedule was released earlier this week. Mepham's first game is Saturday, March 13th against crosstown district rival Calhoun High School at home. And if you would like to see who your Mepham Pirates might play if everything goes right, check out the Mepham Football Instagram account. Lastly, fall sports intramurals are soon coming to an end. Coaches have started to move starting times of practices up due to the early sunsets, and Winter 1 athletes hope to have intramurals of their own. Now back to you guys to the studio.
Thanks, Sean. Now let's see what Ava Scheffler has in store with your B&B weekend weather report.
Good morning, Mepham. I'm Ava Chef, cooking up a storm here with your weekend forecast. This weekend's weather is shockingly quite warm. I'll believe it when I see it, however. Starting off with today, we are looking at partly cloudy skies with temperatures in the 60s dropping to the 50s later that evening. Saturday is looking beautiful with high temps for this time of year with temperatures in the 70s. Okay, sure, dropping to the 50s later at night. And Sunday is going to be in the upper 60s, dropping to the 40s later at night. You are probably wondering, Ava, what shirt are you wearing? What does it mean? For more information, go to the Mepham Kickline Instagram page and donate to the link in bio. Go Team Allie. Have a wonderful weekend, Mepham, and I'll see you next time on the weather. Look at this. Wow.
Thanks, Ava. This week's kindness quote of the week is Mr. Graziano is incredible, and he deserves so much more credit. He's absolutely amazing. Keep submitting your kindness quotes for a chance for your favorite teacher to get featured.
And now for your quote of the day. The risk of a wrong decision is preferable to the terror of indecision. To all the voters out there, no matter who you supported in the election, thank you for getting involved and making a decision. To my fellow students, no matter whether you're a senior or a freshman, we've got next. 2024 will be our first presidential election. Let's be ready to make a decision when it's our turn. These have been the BMB morning announcements for November 6th.
Have a great day, Mepham.
Look, Michelle, I'm gone.